Ngayau is a head-hunting ritual by the Dayak tribe who inhabit the island of Kalimantan. Both Dayak who live in West Kalimantan and other Kalimantan. Ngayau cannot be separated from human head casualties from the enemy. The most popular image about Kalimantan so far is related to headhunting. The practice of headhunting is a complex form of social behavior and has provoked the emergence of various explanations, both from explorers and academic circles. For the Dayak ngayau tribe in central Kalimantan, the tradition of headhunting for the Tawa ceremony, namely the biggest sacred ceremony of the Dayak ngayau tribe to send the soul or spirit of a human who has died to the seventh heaven. Among the Kenya people, headhunting is important in relation to mamat, namely head-cutting parties, which ends the period of mourning and accompanies the initiation ceremony to enter the graded status system, or what is called suhan, namely for war soldiers. Successful headhunters were entitled to wear panther teeth in their ears, a headdress made of hornbill feathers, and a tattoo with a special design. The headhunters' attacks were carried out by small groups of 10 to 20 men who moved quietly and suddenly. They pay close attention to natural signs, especially the movements of birds. After being used in the mamad ceremony, the heads are hung on the veranda of the longhouse, facing the central rooms where the head of the longhouse lives. In the past, the Iban Dayak tribe was reported to be the most famous headhunters in Kalimantan. The Iban Dayak tribe performs a head-hunting ceremony called ngayau. This ceremony is not only religious, but also involves a large feast with. However, not all Dayak tribes in Kalimantan implement the ngayau tradition. Like the Manian Dayak tribe and the Maratus Dayak tribe, in their customs there is no term ngayau, but based on the stories of their traditional elders. When there was a war in the past, the Dayak Manian and Dayak Maratus knights were at war. It was the heads of the enemy leaders who were their targets. If they succeed in beheading the leader, the soldiers will immediately bend the knee. The head of the enemy leader is not a complement to traditional rituals as carried out by the Dayak Kenya, Iban and ngayau tribes. The head remained buried with the body. Although the Maratus and Manian Dayak tribes do not apply ngayau traditions in their customs. However, they still believe that the human head has an important meaning, namely the head is the highest part of the human body and is a symbol of a person's status. A Dayak who is about to go headhunting does not depend too much on the ability of his weapons, but on the strength of the soul to achieve its goals. One of the major influences on the life of the Dayak community was during the Dutch colonial administration. Namely when in 1894 Damang Batu, head of the Kahayan Dayak tribe, gathered sub-Dayak tribes to hold the Tumbang Anoy Peace Conference. This deliberation was known as the Tumbang Anoy Agreement, consisting of Dayak communities throughout Kalimantan reaching an agreement to avoid and eliminate the tradition of headhunting, because it is considered to have caused disputes among the Dayak tribe. And finally, in the deliberation all disputes are buried and the perpetrators are fined in accordance with Dayak customary law. The Tumbang Anoy meeting was initiated by the Dutch colonial government. They felt uncomfortable when they started to enter Borneo Island, because they were in a very vulnerable situation. Especially in the interior because headhunting often occurs among the Dayak tribes. Although up to now there is no single analysis that can explain with certainty and precisely the hidden meaning of the ngayau tradition. Because this ritual is so complex and so mysterious, it can be concluded that the ngayau tradition is very important for depicting the image of the Dayak group, which is one of the symbols of tribal identity. Head-cutting, ngayau reappeared when inter-ethnic riots hit West Kalimantan and Central Kalimantan several years ago. When the Sampit conflict erupted in 2001, the practice of ngayau was revived, targeting people from the Maratus tribe. At least 100 people were beheaded by the Dayak tribe during this conflict. This incident also attracted the attention of the mass media at that time, because this practice has been declared extinct since the Tumbang Anoy Agreement came into force, And this tragedy makes people believe that the Kalimantan ngayau practice has not completely become extinct.